Are people in first world Western countries really unable to eat due to inflation? I've definitely found myself having to pick and choose what I can afford to buy at the grocery store. I used to be able to get almost a full cart for $80. Now it's 3 grocery bags. And I'm not buying anything prepackaged, prepared. Just veggies, meat and rice. Things like that. We, as in my family, aren't starving. But the price increases are a bit scary. I definitely have to plan my shopping and meals, which was not a concern months ago. We fortunately garden and buy bulk meat from a butcher, which definitely helps. But this also makes me not know someone of the healthier food increases. Junk food and snacks have definitely been hit the hardest. Soda was approximately $45 a case, is not over $8. Goldfish used to be $6-ish for a big box, is now $11.88. I used to be able to buy a bag of apples for $3. It is over $5. I would choose berries based on sales. None go on sale lately. I am probably spending 30% more on groceries now than I did a year ago. And, like I said, I am putting effort forth to buy items when on sale and plan meals that have leftovers and stuff like that. Stagnant wages are also an important factor. Prices have gone up and I am spending $2,030 more per week on groceries. I have an extra $2,030 a week. Some don't, so they would have to scale back. There is certainly enough cheap food available where if you were able to eat before, you can still eat now, with some adjustments. I'm sure there are. They claim inflation is only about 8.5%, but I'm paying 30% more at the grocery. I'm fine ATM. But there are certainly people with far less than me. There is American poor and third world poor. We are still American poor. Lots of people live check to check. Simply there are more and more poor people every day. And prices are going up, even in first world countries. The number of people using food pantries has gone up drastically this year. A 12 ounces can of beans at my grocery store is $4.25. This is bizarrely expensive and it should be $1. $1.50 or $2.50 depending on brand. Filet mignon, yes, expensive and bland, has gone up from $2,025 a pound to $40 a pound. Bananas oddly the same price for a decade. All of a sudden there are weird prices jumps and even people with good incomes are having to start looking closely at price tags for staples they are used to buying. That said, people here are less likely to go hungry and instead eat very cheap food from the Dollar General that makes them fat, which is why the obesity rate here is so high. My family is not starving, but the cost of groceries has become quite a burden. I am starting to reevaluate what we purchase at the store and cut back on other spending. Natural gas and electricity has increased in price too, so money is tight. My dad just recently left, which means no more of his money. My mom bought an $18 pack of chicken thighs yesterday. $18. That is outrageous. I know many Americans who survive on 25-cent ramen because they can't afford real food. Yes, the USA is just a third world country with a Gucci belt. I work full-time in Scotland and struggle to feed myself and my young daughter after all our bills. It's awful. USDA's lowest food cost estimate for a man aged 1950 is $292.60 a month, which is $9.75 a day, $3.25 per meal. Lowest estimate per child is about $150. So, yeah, It's a fair chunk of your income, especially if there are any kids. And most people are living paycheck to paycheck, so any extra expenses will be a hardship. I mean, nobody is going to starve to death, but they might start showing signs of deficiencies if they aren't super careful. I see a lot of people in this comment section putting it down to newspeak or poor money management, as if this isn't an excuse politicians in our countries have been using to cut benefits, wages, medical funding, and many other extremely important financial drives for generations. The price of everything has been going up, and wages have not been increasing to meet this. If you're a doctor or a world-class engineer, good for you. I'm sure you are comfy. The people really affected by this are parents. Single ones especially. People who have to spend what little money they have ensuring their children are happy. People who would rather end their life than deal with the constant media bombardment and social pressures of seasons like Christmas. And the elderly who have been consistently failed by a government that cuts their pension to afford tax cuts for the rich. I know people who suffer. They get by, but they are by no means happy. Constantly budgeting, constantly eating the bare minimum, prioritizing their children and starving themselves to feed them. The problem is real. The news is simply just using it because people are so fed up that they click on the bait because it validates their concerns. You people gonna accuse Hurricane Ian of being fake or exaggerated just because the news covers it religiously? I thought not. Prices have skyrocketed, and yes, I live in Australia too. I got a new job that pays better, but it does not feel like much because of the inflation. Since I am closer to my new place of work, my petrol usage has dropped. I have been filling up less than 1/2 a tank for the past few months, but the money goes into groceries. Eating cheap doesn't equal eating healthy. And a big percentage of the healthy stuff is still not healthy. It's not just inflation. It's also stagnation of wage increase and social benefits, energy pricing, etc. Over 14.5 million people are living in poverty in the UK. According to the Joseph Rowntree Foundation, that includes 4.3 million children. Between April 2021 and March 2022, food banks in the Trussell Trust's UK-wide network distributed over 2.1 million emergency food parcels to people in crisis. You need to make sure you are factoring in not just money but time. Many people are time poor. Money buys you time, as you can outsource things. In fact, I have heard wealth only makes you happier until the point at which you've bought as much time as you can. For many people, cooking, caring for kids and working is too much to do within the time they have available. There are definitely people in developed countries in this position. In USA, they don't get benefits and have to pay for medical care, so absolutely. If you get sick, you're effed. In the UK, loads of people use food banks or can't heat their home. Even people who receive benefits.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.